Okay, our first section of notes for this week are going to focus on the characteristics of the Earth's atmosphere. When we look at the layers of the Earth's atmosphere, the closest to the ground would be the troposphere, and then on top of that would be the stratosphere, the mesosphere, the thermosphere, with the last or the outermost being the exosphere. In all, the two main gases that make up these layers of the Earth's atmosphere are going to be nitrogen at 78% and oxygen at 21%. So if we were to look at the Earth's layers in order, you can see this here. And here. I thought this picture was pretty cool. As you can see, it shows the Earth's different layers of the atmosphere. You can kind of see that and how the sun reflects in each layer and the colors that are given off because of the gases that it contains. So let's talk about the Earth's lowest layer of its atmosphere. This is known as the troposphere. Within the troposphere, this is where all weather will occur. It is the closest layer, once again, to the Earth's surface. So if you were to go outside and it's raining out or it's muggy, that's due to the fact that you're within the troposphere. This is by far the densest layer of the Earth's atmosphere, as it is closest to Earth, and so therefore it's going to contain most of the gases due to Earth's gravity. The troposphere is going to be, once again, the lowest layer, but what's kind of unique about this layer is that as you go up within the layer, the temperature is going to drop as you increase in your altitude. What happens at the top of the troposphere is the actual temperature will stop decreasing. It will stop getting colder. And so at this layer, this is known as the tropopause. And the lower temperatures are going to keep the water vapor within the troposphere. And thus, what you'll see is a lot of condensing and cloud formation taking place. Most level of the troposphere, remember that temperature is going to pause, or we'll have the tropopause. What can happen is we can have cold air that becomes trapped underneath warmer air. This is known as temperature inversion. When this occurs, we can have that air that's trapped underneath can actually contain some pretty bad pollution. And so as long as that temperature inversion lasts, it's usually not healthy to exercise outside or be outside for long periods of time. You usually see these warnings go out in bigger cities where there's a lot more pollution. So you can see down below, above this city, there's a cloud layer, and that's condensed. That's going to be the uppermost level of the troposphere there. Same over here with this town over here, as you can see the pollution that has built up because of this temperature inversion. The next layer above the troposphere and above the tropopause is going to be the stratosphere. This is the layer of the Earth's atmosphere that lies between the troposphere and the mesosphere. The temperature will increase as altitude increases. This usually contains very few clouds and absolutely no storms. Within this layer, however, it contains what is known as the ozone layer. This ozone layer helps shield living things on Earth from the ultraviolet radiation that is given off from the sun. The next layer is going to be the mesosphere. This is the coldest layer of the atmosphere. It's located between the stratosphere and the thermosphere, and what happens is as you increase in altitude, the temperatures are going to decrease. The mesosphere is located anywhere from 50 kilometers up to about 85 kilometers up. Next is going to be the thermosphere. This is going to be the layer of the atmosphere that is located between the mesosphere and the exosphere. Within this layer, the temperature is going to increase once again as the altitude increases. And what you can have is the temperature can actually get pretty hot. It can get 980 degrees Celsius due to the very small amounts of oxygen available at this level. So it can get very, very hot. Above that is going to be the exosphere. This is going to be the outermost region of the Earth's atmosphere. It still shows effects of the Earth's gravity, even though it contains very little gas. As you go throughout this layer, the temperature once again will increase with altitude, so very similar to that of the thermosphere. And the very little gas that it does contain is going to be made up mostly of helium and hydrogen. What eventually will happen is you'll see a gradual fade into the vacuum of space because of the Earth's lack of gravity and its effects at this level. There is a layer that is found in the lower thermosphere and upper mesosphere. It's called the ionosphere, and it contains charged ions that are formed due to the absorbed solar energy. Within this layer, we can find the aurora borealis, which is our northern lights. You can see those in the pictures down below. Those form within the ionosphere, and what can actually happen is radio waves can be reflected off of the ionosphere. So if you listen to radio, the way you get those waves is by bouncing it off the ionosphere. So how did these layers of the Earth's atmosphere form? Scientists believe that the Earth had a very volcanic start to it about 4.4 billion years ago. And as these volcanoes started to erupt, they went through a process known as outgassing. This is the releasing of gases during the volcanic eruptions. Some of these gases are still found in the Earth's atmosphere today, like carbon dioxide. However, these gases did not include oxygen. It wasn't until later, when we had photosynthetic plants, that we actually began to build up oxygen within our atmosphere. Gradually, the oxygen content increased to what it is today. The carbon dioxide produced by these living organisms help form the oxygen carbon dioxide cycle that provides balance within the atmospheric gases here on Earth. When we talk about damaging the Earth's atmosphere, we're really talking about what is known as ozone depletion. This process takes place when the ozone, which is located in the stratosphere, begins to break apart. This is due to the chemical known as chlorofluorocarbons that are human-made. They are released into the Earth's atmosphere. They then go up into the ozone layer and start to break away at those ozone particles, or those O3 particles. What happens is the chlorofluorocarbons will bind to one of the oxygens and break it down into O2. And so we no longer have O3, which is ozone, but it's found in O2. This chemical used to be found in many aerosols like hairspray and spray paint. However, now most of the nations around the world, this chart shows an increase in use of the CFCs from 1977 to about 1995, where in 1996, the use of CFCs by companies and nations was banned. The greenhouse effect is the warming of Earth that occurs when carbon dioxide, water vapor, and other gases in the air absorb and re-radiate infrared radiation. This initially helped keep the Earth's temperatures on the surface stable. However, the increase of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases has now led to the Earth's surface now becoming warmer. As we burn fossil fuels, carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere, it builds up, and then as the sun's energy and radiation penetrate through our Earth's atmosphere, it gets trapped by these particles and then gets re-radiated throughout. This can lead to what is known as global warming. This would be when too much carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases may cause the whole world to actually start to warm up. Once again, this is caused by the trapping of the sun's energy and the radiation of that energy in the atmosphere, and it can lead to some severe problems like ocean levels rising, the melting of the polar ice caps, and then even more droughts than we see today. Carbon dioxide is being continuously added to the atmosphere by the combustion of fossil fuels, whether that's power plants or cars or just burning forests. All of that is adding that carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Okay, that's our notes for today. Hopefully you were able to fill out your assignment. Thanks.